Alright guys, how's it going? Pepper Beefy Spice here. Today we're gonna look at Lei Wulong's wall game, and he has actually one of the more complicated wall games in the game. It's not one of the craziest wall games, but it is certainly an interesting one. As you notice about Lei, he doesn't really have that many neutral game wall splatting moves. He has down 4-3, but the lag is too long, so you can't actually wall splat from it. He has 4 neutral 3, but it's a high and it's slow. He has, what is it? It's, what is that move called? Well, he has back 1 as well, which is also good, but it is also a high. So that means that people are kind of free to duck at the wall. He also has up back 4, which is also not that bad of a wall splat move. He also has forward 4, 3+4, which is a natural combo, but it is double highs. As you can see, this is kind of like a pattern. Like, Lei's wall splat moves often are in themselves just, you know, highs, which is kind of bad because that means that there's not really mids to be scared of, except for like a hop kick or like up back 4 against the wall, though generally people don't want to duck against the wall. But the fact there is that there's not that many usually very good wall splat moves that Lei has. He does have like his launchers like forward 4-3 and hop kick and down 4-2. They're all wall splat, but they're not actually true wall splat moves. But where Lei gets crazy is that he has wall splat moves in his dances. From Snake he has 1+2. Let me just stop bars from moving here. He is from Dragon, he has forward 1+2. Tiger he has 3. Panther, from a distance, he actually has, from a distance with Panther, he has 1+2. As you can see. From Crane, he has 1. Very solid wall splat. He also has 1+2, which gives a combo at the wall. It's not a wall splat, but it's pretty much the same kind of concept. He has a forward 4 from Crane, which is also just a launcher with wall splats by default. From Drunken, he has 1. And Drunken, he has 4. From his playdits, he has face down, feet towards P+4. Also face down, feet towards 4-3, which you can't really get a combo off of, so it's not really worth it. Except for like this mini combo right here. From Sitting Snake, he has 1. And from head towards feet away, he has 3+4. Well, he had to be a bit farther. Oops. There we go. And from Phoenix, he has 1, which is the same thing as back 1. And I do believe that's it for Phoenix. He has, yeah, not much else from Phoenix. Besides the 4 as well, which is launcher. But primarily, those are all of his wall splat moves. He also has 3+4, but you can't really do anything with that. Oh, I guess you could combo that. Wow, never knew about that. You have to be really fast, though, I imagine. Well, actually, I think that's because he got up. If he side walk, I mean, tech rolled, I don't think that would have worked. Yeah, it doesn't work. So, but then it's like, alright, so I need to be in a stance to wall splat someone. How do you wall splat someone with Lei? Well, considering that his lows aren't terribly scary, since his lows do like no damage, outside of down back 4-4. Oh, one thing before I go on to it, this low actually can wall splat if you do it from a distance and then use down 4-4 to carry them to the wall. There we go. So those are primarily his wall splat moves. He also has that, which incidentally wall splats. But oh, he also has the last hit of down 4-1-1-1, also wall splats. And the countered string, which is 4 neutral 4-1-2-3, which is all guaranteed, also causes a wall splat, which is crazy damage. No, I messed that up. Oh, and of course, the move I've been doing the whole time, 2-1-3+4. Alright, with that being said, those are most of the wall split moves, at least most of the ones that you're going to use anyways. So how do you set up a wall split? Well, being that Lei has really meh lows, is usually someone is not going to be exactly scared to duck at the wall. But there are situations where you can make them afraid to block mid. And this wall game is primarily centered around, you know, scaring them to duck and whatever, is centered around Drunken stance. This is where Drunken comes into play. Now, Drunken in neutral isn't really that crazy. It doesn't really have that many, like, scary moves from it. But at the wall, it is actually very scary. It all centers around this unique throw he has, which is either 1-3 or 2-4. Which is this, like, Drunken Master throw. Only just 33, which is strange. It's like one of those weird weak throws. The point is, though, that the throw is extremely fast. It starts up almost immediately, and it's very difficult to see coming. And the break window for this throw is also very, very short. So the throw is very difficult to break on reaction. So people will actually want to try to duck the throw. Another cool thing about this throw is that it has two animations. The first part and the second part, both of them are grabs. So opponents have to wait a little bit longer if they want to, you know, retaliate against this throw. So you go drunk at the wall and then you throw them, right? But let's say, you know, they're savvy about the throw and they don't want to risk, you know, pressing 1+2 and getting counter hit. Since the throw is very hard to break on reaction, they'll just want to try to duck. Well, to duck, you have options against that. You have 1, ball splat. And you also have 4. Well, actually, you can do something like this. You do that if you wanted. But I'll talk about that later. Anyways, so there are 2 mids to scare people to duck that throw, since the throw is 33. And after the throw lands, it ends them right back at the wall. And since they're in thrown, they cannot tech roll. So they have to roll or get up. And usually in this composition, you are very advantageous, so you can play with your opponent. So, you know, it's all about either they're going to try to duck that throw to get out of the wall, or they're going to try to break this throw, or they're just going to stand at the wall. If they just keep standing up, then just keep throwing them. And say they actually just want to, they want to break the throw since they're confident they're breaking. Well, you can fake them by going to drunk stance, going forward, which causes like a weird animation of him walking forward. And then press 1, since, you know, the animation is kind of hidden in the walking. As you can see, like, it kind of happens immediately. Same with the drunk throw. See how fast it happens out of the walk animation? It's just cancelled immediately. And it's very difficult to see, even if players are savvy about it. So that's why Drunk 4 and Drunk 1. Drunk 1 is stronger, but it's not, it's slower. And Drunk 4 is weaker, but it's faster. And now I'm going to tell you how you can set up Drunken at the wall. Well, there are a couple moves in Lei's arsenal that go into Drunken. And primarily, there's 2-1, which goes into Drunken if you hold forward. So at the end of a combo, you could end a combo with 2-1. So that, do a wall splat combo, 2-1 forward, and then you get up into a Drunken throw. You want to get up again, another Drunken throw. And they get up ducking or something, then 4. Etc, etc, etc. And even if they tech roll, the throw tracks very well as well, unlike most throws. Tech roll still tracks, especially at the wall, since you're kind of cornered at the wall. Alright, so that's Drunken pretty much for you. Oops, okay. Another way into Drunken is through Phoenix. Going into Phoenix, which is back 1+4, you don't even want to do this because this is very unsafe. But basically, I'm just using this to demonstrate Phoenix. Hold forward from Phoenix, you do go forward into Drunken. Instantaneously, it's instant. You do go into the walk, but it's actually instant Drunken. Also from Phoenix, you can do 1+2 and do a Tiger Step into Drunken. Now, I don't prefer doing it this way because it's slower and leaves you vulnerable, even though Lei does restore some of his red health while doing it. So you would set that up by doing something like, let's see. Alright, so that's kind of like a hidden kind of move you can do. Well, not really a hidden move, but like a string at the wall that doesn't seem like it'll connect, but it actually connects. 4-3-1, and then immediately into up back 4 is a string that will connect at the wall as long as you're like, you don't have that many hits at the wall. Oops. And you have to do it pretty fast too. It doesn't seem like it'll hit, but it actually can hit because up back 4 actually has a huge ass hitbox. Now, the reason why you do up back 4 is because either from up back 4 you hold back and you go into Phoenix, and then you're straight back into Drunken. So it's like, and then back into Drunken, another wall splat, go into Drunken again, boom, another throw. So as you can see, Lei's wall game is kind of tricky because he has different ways to set up the wall splats and a consistent wall game, prevent you from leaving the wall. Up back forward, also forward also goes into Crane. Now Crane is also one of the better stances of the wall, and I'll demonstrate why. So Crane's 1 is the same thing as Drunken's 1, except it's a little bit weaker. It does, you know, decent wall damage and wall splats, and if it's blocked, it's actually safe and leaves you in back turn, which you could do like a back turn 3, which also wall splats. Other mix of Crane is you have 4, which puts them into a face down position where they cannot tech roll. So you kind of put them in a forced Oki position right there. Unfortunately, the recovery frames are so long on a Crane that you don't get anything guaranteed. Although, Crane 4, you do have to note that Crane 4 is very launch punishable, so you have to be careful about using it. But pretty much that's the mix-up at the wall here, is that, you know, either Crane 1, or they duck, you know, they block Crane 4. If they don't block Crane 4, then they get a lot of damage because, well, actually that looks like it's guaranteed, that 10 damage. So either way, Crane 4 puts him in a face-down position, puts him in disadvantages, and does a lot of damage. So getting hit by Crane 4 is not good, although I guess for them it would be better than getting hit by Crane 1. Most players will be scared of Crane 4 since that's like the most dangerous, one of the most dangerous moves from Crane Crane stance, as well as 1+2, which is a high, which starts like a very strong launcher combo. So a lot of people will try to duck against Crane. However, a smart player, as long as they're at the wall, they'll never duck. So pretty much, even if you do get the 1 block, you do get a free mix-up afterwards because you put you in a plus frames back turn. Other moves he has is 3-4-2-3 string. 3-4-2-3 string. The last hit does wall splat because it launches. Oops. There we go. So Crane Stance is kind of the same mechanic as Drunken. It's just a different way to wall splat people, even or he also has up forward 4 from it, which, I mean, in hindsight, it kind of does look like the animation for Crane 4. Up forward 4 both uses the same leg, and they both do like a fancy hop before he actually kicks. So it could be misleading to some players, up forward 4 versus Crane 4. Although I do believe Crane 4 is actually unsafe. I think it has knockback though. Although, like, it looked like it did. Wait a second. Yeah. Oops. Oh, you can't do that. No knockback really. It looks a little bit safe, but not safe really. Oh, he also says counter hit back 4-1. Also, wall splat's the second hit, as long as it's counter hit though. Thing is though, counter hit, there's no delaying this move kind of. Kind of have to confirm it. So that wall splat is not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed there. It is low high, so if they're smart, they can duck it, and it's gonna be problematic for you if they do duck it. But moving on from that, so I mainly talk about Drunken as his primary, you know, wall splatter in this game, and how to set it up. You can do 2-1, or you can do up back 4 into Phoenix and then go forward into Drunken, or you can do up back 4 into Crane, and do etc etc. 2-1 forward as well. Okay, Anyways, you can also use Play Dead at the wall to mix up people, to get the wall splat. So how you do this is you do Play Dead as like a reset in the middle of a combo. Now you do this and people might instinctively block low. If they don't block low, if they do block low, they get eat by 3+4, which is a safe mid, which wall splats. And puts the Lei right back up so you can continue the combo. But you can also get hit by 3, which I mentioned earlier. If it's far enough, they can actually get wall carried to the wall by down 4-4. Although at the wall you can't really do anything. That's only because it's tech rolled. So you can do like down 4-4 or something like that. You can also do some fancy playdead stuff, like for example, let's see, wall splat someone, combo, do playdead, then get up, and then do drunken. Because 1+2 from any playdead is into drunken. Although this can cause you to go backwards drunken, which is like a trolley kind of thing to do, which like baits people. But it is a way to mix up people. Like I'll show another example. Like do that. How can I wall splat you today? Do that. Do that. Drunken. Throw. You know, very very confusing mix up right there. It require you to attempt to do something like they could hit you, but it is like a a kind of setup that you could look at. Additionally to Crane, like doing the up back 4 from the wall combo is like, let's see, that. If you do that, if they try to do a low get up kick, they'll get instantly hit by the automatic low parry of Crane. So basically, the way Crane would work even more is that it has a built-in low parry, which causes a launcher. So if, in case they're savvy and they don't want to get up and face any mix-up at all, you can go into Crane and then bait them to use a get-up 3. Hold on a second, let me just show the combo. Etc, etc, etc. So there are different options for Lei, for someone who stays down. Even in Drunken, if they stay down, you do have an option here. You say, let's say you did a combo, right? And then you finish in Drunken, and they don't want to get up, right? They don't even want to do a get up kick. So Drunken has a good move here, which is up forward. Either way, as long as you knock them down, and they don't want to get up after the combo, whatever. They don't want to get up forward, 1+2 will hit them for 21 damage, which is still pretty good, and it puts you in another playdead mix-up. From here, you can either do 4-3 for the slide, which puts you in another playdead, or you could, if they get up, you could do 3+4, which causes a wall splat. But you cannot combo off of it, unfortunately. You do get a guaranteed 3 though. So it's a little bit of damage, but it still puts them at the wall, etc. Still putting them at the wall pressure. From other stances, Tiger's stance is especially good at the wall. Even though it's like Tiger 4, like look at the basic Tiger 4 combo, like it doesn't work here. There's too many hits towards the wall. Not even the wall carry version works at the wall. Oops. Yeah, see though, it's too close to the wall to actually wall splat. But it actually does wall splat if you time it correctly. If you time a forward 4-2 right after Tiger 4, you can actually get it at the wall. See, even Tiger 4 is still scary at the wall, even though that it does not cause the proper combo. You just have to adjust the combo. So that means that people still have to be scared of Tiger 4, and people are already scared of Tiger 4 because it's the fastest low launcher of the game. That means they'll probably duck, even though, their mind tells them never duck at the wall, because, maybe they say, well, Tiger 4 is the scariest things from that stance, I might as well duck it. Well, in that sense, Tiger 3 is a perfect wall splat that does a lot of damage. Oops. And etc, 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 etc. So everything from here is still dangerous. It's now a real 50-50. Now it entirely depends, since 3 and 4 are both pretty much unstable. So it's a complete guessing game here. If they want to attack, you just hold forward and parry it. and then you put them into another mix-up because they're on plus frames. Another really scary thing to do with the wall is 1+2. Now, it's extremely slow, which is kind of bad, but at the same time, it's completely safe because it's huge knockbacks done. And even though on hit, it's not exactly like plus, it gives them like a weird like knockback stun, like I'll show it. So from there, usually that knocks them so far back that you can't get anything followed up, you just face each other. But the wall, since you're so close, you can actually get like a throw mix-up. Etc. Even though it said it comboed, I'm pretty sure you can break that. Throw escape on. Yeah, he can still break it, of course. Yep, he still break it, of course. That's Tiger for you. Basically, it's still really scary. It's now 3 versus 4, and you know, even if they know that never knock on the wall, 4 is still free because it still starts a combo. Even though people, you know, you might think that Tiger 4 won't combo, it can still combo actually. From the other stances, there's not too much crazy of a mix-up as Crane, Tiger, and Drunken. He does have 4+2 from, from Dragon, which is only -10 with pushback. I think it even pushes back at the wall, like it does a weird, like, reverse pushback. Yeah, it's still pretty safe. It wall splats pretty evenly, and does a lot of damage, 43. 2 also wall splats, and it's plus frames, so that's also really good. So Dragon 2 is also pretty good at the wall. The thing is though, there's not really a reason to be scared of Dragon to duck at the wall. There's 3, which gives plus frames, but it's only 14 damage, and most people aren't even thinking that Dragon has a low since that low is hardly used. So, you know, people aren't really gonna be afraid of any lows here, so you might have problems with people trying to wall splat you. I mean, getting them to duck. You also have the throw mix-up, which is, you know, one back, basic Dragon throw mix-up. But, you know, I think that it's not as a cool situation as is Drunken Throw, since... Oops, keep breaking it. Forgot about that. Like, even though it pushes them, like, right there, even though they're still at the wall, you can't really get, like, you know, another mix-up in. I guess you could go back into, you know, Drunken and then do the same thing. I suppose it could work, although, you know, it's just something, it's just more options to look at, even though personally I don't really do it. Because the one back mix-up is very good. You know, it's the exact same throw, but it's not the throw. He also has his, oh, one more thing before I mention what I'm about to mention. 2 is plus on block, as long as you don't go forward into Tiger. If you do go forward into Tiger, everything but like a 10-frame move will get parried if you hold forward, and lows. And, you know, unparried moves like flip kicks or whatever. So that's also very good at the wall if you just do that. Get the thing. Which calls it the Dragon plus frame mix-up, because 2 is plus. Anyways, what I was about to mention is the 4-1-2-3 string. This whole thing right here, which also comes from Dragon, also from neutral. If for whatever reason you manage to counter hit this move, like bait counter it by jabbing them, whatever, you know, do some lows and do the counter hit move, it's a lot of damage at the wall, since it's all guaranteed and it all wall splats. Boom, right there, 121 damage all for that counter hit. So very, very good to try to do this string at the wall, and it's very hard to duck because the second mid comes pretty fast. So it's a very good string to use at the wall, in my opinion. Very good. From Snake, he does have one wall splat move, which is 3. I mean, 1+2. His 3 doesn't... It does. I guess you could do that. It's just... 3 is so slow and hardly ever used that, you know, it's not really that amazing to use. Although, I guess at the wall, it does have its uses since it does wall splat. Regardless, though, 3... it's okay. I mean, if they block it, you're unsafe a lot, but it does put you in play dead, so... You're not, you know, gonna get launched or something. You could get floated though, depending on the character. Though, Snake does have the stand one splat move, which is 1+2, which I think is only -10 or -13 or something. I mean -12. I don't think it's -13. He has 4, which is a decent low poke, although it's not really plus on block. So usually after this, you want to block and try to bait out, you know, like a party-style punish. So there's no reason to duck against Snake, since if you do duck, you get 2-2-2-2 for free, and you also get 1-2-1, which is very bad, since people don't really want to duck against the wall, especially against Snake. So you could just harass them with 4 forever, but since 4 is not plus, they actually have a chance to get out, like sidestep or something. From Panther, let's see, 2 wall splats with, like, you know, and a standalone. It's kind of like the same kind of mix-up, really. It's just that Panther is even better at the wall because of, like I talked about earlier, if you're at a distance, Panther 1-2 will wall splat. You know, so it's pretty much the same mix-up for Panther. It's kind of like the same thing. But yeah, like neutral game-wise, there's no really way for him to wall splat. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is actually there are 2 wall splat moves I didn't mention. There is the last hit of Razor Rush, which wall splats very evenly. Though it doesn't give a lot of damage because the initial wall splat move is very weak. But the Razor Rush mix-up is most people want to duck at it because, for one thing, the low kick from Razor Rush is launch punishable, and what she calls it, the 4 causes a wall splat. So obviously, I think if a player is smart, they're gonna know that the opposing player will always go mid since they want the wall splat. So, you know, most of the time they'll try to duck. Although, you know, it's part of the mix-up. Maybe, you know, they do go for it. If that was confusing, I'm basically saying that this is a mind game, you know? Either you think that I'm gonna go low because I know that you're gonna block mid because you don't want to get wall splatted. I mean, because you know that I'm just gonna block mid for wall splat, so you're gonna try to go low. But I'm actually gonna go mid because I thought that you knew that I knew that I don't want to hit mid because obviously most players will block mid. That was a mouthful, but pretty much that's what it comes down to with Razor Rush. That's what it comes down to. Too long didn't read. This is a 50-50 mix-up, pretty much. 4 versus 3. And of course talked about launches wall splat, and yeah, his neutral. Oh, the other move I was gonna talk about is 1+2 2. Oh, second is not guaranteed, but if it does hit, it wall splats because it launches, which could be a mix-up that you could try to put in there. On counter hit, it's all like it launches naturally, so it's gonna be launch them anyways. But you know, if you counter hit and do the whole string, it's gonna mess up like that. Yeah, it's just gonna mess up. From back turned, he does have 4-3, which on counter hit duel is guaranteed. Yeah, that wall splats. Which, I mean, you could do that mix-up with the wall, which is the back-turned back 4 mix-up. Back-turned down 1 versus back 4, which is the mid-low mix-up. Very, very good. You could, like, bait someone into a counter hit, like do 4 and then delay into 3 and then get the wall splat. Since normally that move is very difficult to combo off of in neutral. Though it is, actually, is it difficult? I don't really use this move too much, so let me check it out. Ooh. Well, you could tag on it. It's... Oh, you can't even get a jab in? Yeah, okay. Damn, this is hard to combo off in neutral unless you tag out. Alright, so that's most of his wall mix-ups, right? I already talked about his extensive wall mix-up game. It's kind of like, you know, there's a lot of options, but at the same time, it's a lot of situational stuff. You could change it up, keep changing it up, which is a good idea if you're playing a, you know, Lei, because mix-ups of Lei are very important since he doesn't really have any scary lows. He's quick-ass lows that are annoying, like down 4, and like deep beefy lows like down 3 and down by 4-4, but at the same time, you know, there's no real reason to duck usually against Lei. So the stances are very important, especially at the wall, as are to his neutral game overall. Alright, so what are his strings to use with the wall? Alright, so for tag fillers, he has like 2 brain ones. He has 3 back, 3-3. So that's 3 back into Phoenix, and then Phoenix 3-3, which is a really good string, does a lot of damage, and it gets you an extra move at the wall since the last 3 doesn't count as a tag assault move, so you do get a free move in while Lei's still hitting them. Yeah, see, it ended before the second 3 hit. Oops, that's the other one. Alright, so other than that string, he also has the other string, which is the crane string. Up 4, 3, 3, 4, 2, 3. All hits at the wall. A lot of damage, but you do have to note that it does cause a lot of wall hits. So that could mess up your combo, like, as opposed to something like this. Like, if there's too many hits at the wall, right? It'll just break off like that, pretty much. If there's too many hits at the wall, the whole string will kind of fall off. So you kind of want to do this string as, like, one of those times where you only have very few hits at the wall. And, you know, your follow-up has to be a very fast move, and usually only a single hit move, because of the so many hits of the string, it does make it so that you can't use much moves after it. Those are his 2 primary ones, 3 back 3 and 3-3, and crane string, which is 3 4 2 3. Oh, you know, whatever you want, including the additional hit of the upward 3. Other strings he has is like 2-1 3+4. It's kind of decent, though it does kind of scale the combo kind of badly, so you want to just use this instead. You can also go for some mix-ups, like something like this. Like, you know, go into a stance, manual stance. Something like that, you know, it looks like you dropped the combo, it actually didn't, you didn't actually encounter it. You can do little setups like that, you know, just experiment. Enders, he has, let's see. Show enders. He has a couple of really good enders. He has 2-1 3+4, which is like his primary one, since it does like, as long as the first part hit, the rest are guaranteed. So the thing is, note though, the first hit is high, so you can't really use it when there are a lot of hits at the wall, because, you know, they'll be so far down the wall already that the first part won't hit, and if the first part doesn't hit, the rest won't. Alright, so okay, that'll be the last time I reset it, I swear. So you can do that. Very good swing, very solid damage. He also has, what else? He has the string I showed you, 4-3-1, and then a back 4 into some kind of mix-up, either Crane or Panther. I mean, Crane or Phoenix into Drunken. Phoenix doesn't really have a wall slap move that's reliable, so, I mean, you could do it for, like, Oki, which is, like, I'll talk about tornado kicks right now. So, one of the things to do at the wall that's pretty cool is if they don't want to get up ever, you can do tornado kicks. Which, as long as they don't get up, it's all guaranteed. If they try to get up, it'll eventually whiff. That's like a crazy wall sweat. Yeah, see, as long as they don't get up, it's all guaranteed. And then, even if they do block it, tornado kicks is super plus on block and puts them to a forced mix-up. The fourth mix-up here is if you go to play dead and you go for the launcher, you know, whatever, for wall splat, or you go for the 3, which is also a launcher. It's the same kind of mechanic as Tire 4, where you just have to do you know, what you calls it, crouch cancel, forward 2 for the bound. So, you know, either way, the mix-up here is still very 50-50. Even if they, you know, you don't want to do this, you can still do this, 3+4, which wall splats as well. Well, of course, it'd be a little bit farther, but you know what I mean. So, Tornado Kicks is very good, other than its damage. Even if it's, you know, blocked, you still put them into a mix-up. So that's a potential ender. Just note that if they tech roll, like, none of it's guaranteed, they'll start whiffing. So, okay. So you do that. Oh yeah, other enders, right. He also has, other than the 4-3, he has... what else does he have? Oh, he has Razor Rush, yes. You can also end with Razor Rush. It puts him into another mix-up right here. It's not as powerful as the other mix-ups because not many of the stances, except for Panther, are very good in Oki, like when they're grounded. So if they get up, you do get a free mix-up since they got up. But if they stay grounded, you're kind of in a bad position since the only stance that will really hit them up when they're grounded, like effectively, is Panther. Like, let me show. Right, so if they stay down, and you're in Panther, right? Oops, let's go the other way. You can't just harass him with 3, which hits grounded all the time. Doesn't have amazing tracking, but it does hit grounded all the time, so that's pretty good. And if you press forward, you do the low parry, so they try to get up 3 or anything. You do get a free low parry into some kind of combo. I don't really know like a low parry combo at the wall, but I'm sure it is good. But yeah, you could do that into another mix-up. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good idea. I think that's his primary enders with the wall. Other than going into like stances or something, or you know, like doing up back 4. Like primarily, it's gonna be 2-1 3+4. What calls it? And well, forward 1, up back 4. 2-1 forward into drunken, and you know, gimmicky stuff. Not really gimmicky stuff, but like setup for mix-up, just like, you know, do razor rush into a stance, or play dead, or manual stance, or anything like that. Other than more solid choices, even though these are going to stances as well, these are more solid choices than the other ones. Although, you know, mixing it up is you know, something you'd always try. Oh, one thing about that string, by the way, is if you end with it, you do get a tag out if the last part hits. So you can do like a running in mix-up. Alright, so other than that, I do believe that's it for Lei's wall game. Very tricky. His wall damage is pretty good. Though most of it are like long hitting strings, which I guess is really good for walls. It's pretty good. It's just, it doesn't stand out as much because it's like a very stance heavy kind of wall game. Yeah, I guess that's about it. Alright, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.